Welcome back. This is if Luffy wanted to become the strongest pirate, not the king of pirates. Part 3, the final episode of this series. Well, I'm going to continue right off the start. Luffy was just recovering his health, eating, doing little bits of training in there, but Luffy thinks about how he needs to go find some place where he can actually boost his skills and get stronger, because he thinks about how if Blackbeard wasn't going all out and made him use all his power, he needs to get stronger, in the last episode. But I think Luffy would not ask anyone for help due to the fact that, because unlike Zoro because in this AU, Luffy's a way more prideful, way more prideful than Zoro. But in his head, he will think about something he needs to improve, because he doesn't want to use more gears, as gears take away his life, right? In this AU. But in this AU, gear 1 takes 1 second of his life. Gear 2 takes 2 seconds, you get it. But gear 5 takes 5 seconds for each punch, by the way, and each kick, not for using it. So he doesn't want to keep on using or creating new of them to the point where if he punches someone, it's like gear 60 will just make him lose a minute of his life. Like that. So he thinks about hockey, but he thinks about that. He already has his new hero, Rio hockey, to master, and doesn't want to learn about it now because that will take too long. And so he thinks about mastering his sword, as he's a great swordsman, but he's not as strong as Zoro. But remember, he still has a simple sword. He doesn't have those anime swords where they're just this super amazing design. But he thinks about how he needs a strong sword. So he's gonna go to Wano, he's gonna go to an island called Monster Island, because he heard of something called the Monster Blade. Because he thinks that's the perfect blade for him. But Luffy expects it to just be on the rod, and he pulls it out and he leaves with it. But the Monster Blade has a bunch more stuff. But before we talk about Luffy's adventures, we're going to talk about the Monster Blade real quick. The Monster Island is guarded by a bunch of monsters that are super strong. They're not at marine level, but they're not someone to underestimate. The Monster Blade, if the user is not fit or strong enough for the blade, it's kind of like For's hammer. If you're not fit or strong enough for the blade, it will not do. But if you do have it, it gives you with something called Chaos Hockey, which is very OP. And I'm gonna do it for a little while because last episode. All right, let's continue. So Luffy thinks about it, and Luffy goes to the island and sees this boar-looking animal, and they attack him. Luffy tries to use his sword, slices the animal up. The animal, nothing happens. The animal just has a couple scratches. The animal attacks him. Luffy realizes this island's dangerous, goes gear 2, and just knocks out every animal because they're not that strong, like I said. But they're strong enough that if you're not good enough, they will humiliate you. But he starts winning, finds the Monster Blade. It's just laying there. Luffy picks it up, and then this giant light beam of light just goes boom, a light beam. It strikes Luffy, and that deems him fit, but since Luffy was recovering, he has full uniform on and all that. But Luffy basically what you see right now in the photo. His eyes are blue, his body's trembling because he's picking the sword, kind of like that. So after he picks it up, he tries to slice something with it, but underestimates the power of the sword. He tries to slice 5 trees that he sees. And when he slices it, the island was not that big. The island was about, let's say, maybe a 2,000 feet or so. So when I say he cuts off half the island, he only cut off 2,000, 1,000 feet or something like that. 900,000 feet, okay? Luffy's so shocked that, but when he's trying to put the sword back, like the same thing happened to Zoro. His arm just gets drained. But unlike Zoro, he uses his willpower just to pop it right off, and then his arm goes back to normal. So Luffy spends about a couple more months learning to now where he's 20. I'm pretty sure 20, yeah. So now that he's mastered his sword and all that he's trying to think of ways to like master his real hockey. You know, the golden thing, the Pistol King, and Gear 5th. He mastered it, but he wants to increase it, but not go to create a whole new gear because that's way too much thinking of him. So he thinks of something called Gear 5. Let's see, Gear 5 Golden Trumpet. So basically what it does is Luffy uses his Pistol King and turns his arm into this trumpet that he just blows into, that creates this giant gust of wind. It's like the air pressure move, like Izuku uses, where he just like uses his fingers to create air pressure like that, except it's way stronger. As it blows back many of the trees on the island, Luffy's happy with this. But Luffy now wants to go find Whitebeard. But remembers that Blackbeard is most likely at Rocks Island, and Monster Island is so far away from Rocks Island, like so far away. So Luffy thinks the nearest thing to him would be, let's see, what would be the nearest thing to him? Wano. Wano is the nearest thing. So he thinks about going and go fight Kaido. Wait. He will not take down Kaido all by himself, but he will get the credit for it, but you'll see what I mean. But someone else that happened to be at there would be, let's see, who is it again? Whatever. I'll just make Mihawk there. But let's say, so Mihawk is there, right? He sees Luffy, and he thinks Luffy's after him to, get his bounty up. So he immediately draws his sword, like he's gonna fight Luffy, and then Luffy says, no, in his Luffy manner, and he says again, Draco is like, are you crazy, Luffy? You think you can take on the world's strongest creature? He said if Whitebeard was alive, he would beat you. And Luffy's like, we'll never find out. And then Mihawk just does not want to see this happen. So he says he will help Luffy. Alright, so that's why I'm doing the second person. So Mihawk and Luffy go to fight Kaido. Mihawk immediately just tries to get a slice on the scar, because that's where he thinks Kaido's weakest spot is, which is his weakest spot. But Kaido's weakest spot is like hitting steel, okay? It's still super strong. So he attacks Kaido, and nothing happens to Kaido. Kaido just shoves it off. Kaido uses, his Conqueror's Haki, like Luffy's, and uses it to his hammer type thing, and just smashes it. Then Luffy uses his Monster Blade and just holds it back for just a little bit, and then getting flung back. Remember, then Mihawk creates a plan that involves him basically sacrificing himself, basically. So what he does is that he uses armament Haki and observation Haki and combines it to do this ultimate slash on Kaido. And while Kaido's attacking the slash, he says Luffy can immediately just start punching him and all that to kill Kaido, the strongest creature. But when he starts powering up, the local, when the world's strongest thing, they just start getting this aurora around him. He gets this black aurora going around him, and he just, y'all know Yami from, let's say, Black Clover. Yeah, he basically calls it the Night Slash, but imagine a Dimension Slash, That's why it is. Like the thing just like lightning does like the circle like the dimension slash and it just like kind of like makes Kaido's like feet move. Like okay, Kaido's feet is probably like I don't know, like 10 to 14. Kaido's feet is like I don't know. Like Kaido's feet, how long is Kaido's feet gonna be? I'm gonna say Kaido's feet is 400 feet. Like no, not 300 feet. Okay, it moves Kaido's feet by a little bit. Just enough that he's a little bit off balance. But now Mihawk being drained all power about to catch him. What about to fall? No one catches him, by the way. I just put that in. But he just falls down and apparently looks to be dead. So Luffy uses, like, all goes out while he's off balance and uses Pistol King Elephant mode. Elephant mode is basically him, except each punch is like throwing like, it's like about throwing like 100 elephants at you, okay? So he just keeps on doing that Kaido's moving back a little bit. Okay, Kaido's kind of like playing with Luffy, but in his head, Luffy thinks Kaido's going all out. So he's going all out, trying to get this man, okay? He's fighting all of his strength into this. When he realizes nothing's happening to Kaido after a couple minutes of bashing Kaido gets mad and Kaido uses this move I'll call I'm just calling it a smash. He uses smash. Basically he throws it and just smashes Luffy over 50 feet in the ground and Luffy's eyes just they go white for a complete 3 to 4 seconds until Luffy just gets back up, turns off his Gear 5, uses Jetman on his legs and just throws up, uses his arm to extend, pick up the sword, and uses his monster blade and uses that's what am I call it? Monster lightning, where this lightning comes. I'm gonna be using a lot of forms in this. You know how when Bor uses all the lightning around his hammer and just smashes it or something like that? He does the same thing with his sword, except he smashes it as Kaido's hammer type thing and there's this clash happens. It's like Shanks versus Whitebeard, like that. The sky is splitting multiple times. It's just you're sending the airwaves. But he gets trying to throw Kaido's thing just right stuck on the island. Kaido gets mad at this, transforms into a dragon, uses the beam. But Luffy uses Gear 4 Rubber Man to withstand it. He uses Gear 4, uses Armor and Haki in full body, and uses Rubber Man at the same time to absorb the attack, but still feels a lot of damage to it. Then Luffy remembers how Mihawk sacrificed himself. Remember, Mihawk's just knocked out, not really dead, but close to it. So his auras his auras start glowing with Conqueror's Haki. It's blue because of the sword, but still. Auras start glowing. Picks up the sword. And then the whole part of Luffy's body just goes it just has this the red aurora, alright? The auras go from red to blue now. He feels his armor and Haki's red, everything just red around him. His sword just goes red, the lightning's red, everything around him is red. I'll call this Gear 5th. Let's see, Gear 5th, Pressure King, Pressure King. So Luffy is just everyone in Wano's feeling his pressure. Kaido feels like someone just bashing him in the stomach and won't let go. So they just start pulling at all out. Luffy just keeping up with Kaido and bullying him. Luffy manages to knock over Kaido, not knock him out, but knock over Kaido. Kaido falls on these trees. He picks up the trees, like it was like 10 trees, and throws it at Luffy. Luffy dodges them, grabs one, and just slams it on the back of, and like the front face of Kaido, like, and she just shatters. Kaido can't see for a while, and then Luffy uses Bisto King elephant mode again and just starts bashing. Kaido falls over. He was about to be fine, like he would have got it up, but there was this giant like rock that just bangs Kaido. So Kaido just feels like a bit of pain, so he doesn't get up right away, and that just allows Luffy to just start bashing him up till Kaido goes. So Kaido just stays on the ground because he's feeling pain everywhere. Not knocked out because he's still the strongest creature, okay? So he just, like, and Luffy ends it with what he calls Gear 5th, King of Pressure, Tormentor. Okay, basically, there was like this giant blue aura, not red no more, just attacks Kaido, causing Kaido to just do the anime, blood spit out, causing Kaido to just lay back and admit defeat to Luffy. But if Kaido wanted to beat Luffy, he could have, but Luffy just kind of outsmarted him. Well, not outsmarted, he got dumb luck because there was a rock there, but that's my part 3. Oh yeah, no, that is not the end of it. Wait. So after this, Luffy comes out. He's not drained since he knows his limits at now. He cuffs Mihawk, buries him underground, by the way, and then, but like he left a couple holes and like in it, like underground, if we didn't know, so Mihawk can actually breathe and not die. I don't want Mihawk to die, even though it's the end of the series. So after a couple weeks after this, Luffy has been claimed the strongest pirate. And everyone wondering why he has to beat Whitebeard, he has to beat Shanks. And let me talk to you about this. The guy could go toe-to-toe. I think Shanks would do a good match on Kaido, but if Kaido got one good hit on Shanks, Shanks would not be getting up. If Kaido got a one good hit on Whitebeard, on Blackbeard, would he get up? No. So I think his final bounty here will be 5,468,000,000 berries for the strongest pirate of all the seas. With that, that is the end of What If Luffy Want to Become the Pirate King. Hope you like it. And let's see what other fears I come up with.